A few moments later.
You know what? At times I normally ask myself, have I ever drunk milk from the same cow twice? Oops, oh. Welcome to the Goat Matata Diaries.
You know how back in school, the English teacher will make us write essays of the days we'll never forget? Well, apparently, if indeed I was told to write an essay right at this moment about the day that indeed I'll never forget, this is the day that I'll write. It all started when we were out on a soccer match. We were actually on a PE, and we were playing a soccer match between us, the boys and the girls. And I have to say for a fact that I'm not the athletic type, but on that day, I happened to try out a football trick that I saw on TV. So when I hit the ball with my ass, you know, like the...
What kind of shit is that?
The one that you hit it with your ass. Everyone laughed it off. And I presumed that my crush too was impressed. So when I scrutinized the whole film to see whether my crush, who by the way is called Candy, if indeed she was impressed, I was surprised to see that she was not actually present. So when I asked my homie about her whereabouts, he was like, we left her in class. So hypothetically speaking, I had to come up with a good excuse so that I can be able to excuse myself from my teammates so that I could go see her. But according to the bro code that was set out clearly by us, the backbenchers, is that never ever will you ever
Nigga!
Never ever will I ever betray, or how should I term this?
You are really dumb, for real.
Never ever should I betray my teammates for a random girl. But for those who have ever been in love, this was no random girl. She was my crush. I mean, you know how you could do anything for your crush.
My nigga.
So I excused myself from my teammates and I was like, guys, I need to go take a leak. But in essence, I was just going to check up on my girl. So I ran to class, and there she was, my little sunshine.
Jesus Christ.
On a second look at her, she appeared to be reading a book. But I can't really say she was reading a book, because yes, she looked like she was reading a novel, but on a third look, wait, does that even make sense? On a third look, on a third look, on a second look, on a third look, on a third look, she seemed to be in pain, which could be clearly...
You talking like that?
Which could be clearly evident from her face. So I had to act all concerned and thought. So I was like, hey Candy, are you alright? Okay, it's normally a norm that your crushes never reply to you. But she appeared like she wanted to say something, but words couldn't really formulate on her mouth. I couldn't really understand what was going on. Now, if in case I was writing an essay, this is that point where I'll be like, no sooner
Hell no! Hell no!
no sooner had she wanted to answer me than all hell broke loose. I mean, I saw tears trickling down her face. I mean, I don't know about you, but there's nothing as painful as seeing your crush crying. Wait a second. Before I even get to that point where you see your crush crying, I've never really known what to do when someone cries. I don't know if you're supposed to tap her shoulder or are you supposed to say sorry, but why are you apologizing for tears that are coming out of her eyes? How sorry? But that aside. So I was really pained. More pained than, you know that moment where a 10-year-old you is arguing with a girl, then all of a sudden when you rudely say so, she decides to reply as sausage between your two legs. Okay, there's nothing as painful as that, but that aside, let's talk about my girl Candy. So when I saw blood trickling down her socks, I was like, Candy, are you sure you are really alright? Because I can see blood trickling down your socks. So she decided to stand up so that as if to confirm whether indeed it was true. And there it was. There was something like a pool of blood on the chair that she had sat on. And on a second look at her dress, there was blood around her crotch area. Okay, as a disclaimer, at that point actually, I knew nothing about the female anatomy. I knew nothing about the female reproductive system for that matter. So they left me even without asking whether anything was amiss or something of the sort. I decided to run to the staff lounge so that I can go snitch what I had just seen. So when I got to the staff lounge, I met up with this madam, this female teacher who used to have like she used to have trust issues and she really hated me. So when she saw me, she knew that this was just but trouble. But I excused myself and I was like, excuse me, Madam Grace, Candy is in class and she's not feeling well. So she was like, what's wrong? Where is she not feeling well? And there I started explaining. I've left her in class and she was nose bleeding with her buttocks.
Hey! Hey!
Once again, no sooner had I said that she was nose bleeding with her buttocks,
How stupid are you?
than Madam Grace stormed out of the staff lounge and she almost fell me down and she ran towards the class. It appears that my crush was on her first period, and to date I really don't get why I was beaten for explaining what I had just seen. So guys, just to cut the whole story short, this whole experience really traumatized me, and in fact the following day, which was a Thursday, I never completed my assignment. But I guess that's a story best told on my next episode. As always guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you really liked it, and if you have not yet subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe, because part 2 of this video is dropping in a few.